It had been 5 years since Ethan last saw Lily. The rain was pouring down hard, drumming against the pavement as Ethan walked down the city streets, soaked but lost in thought. He had never forgotten her, despite everything that had happened. She was always there, lingering at the back of his mind, like a melody he couldn't shake. Back then, they were inseparable. Best friends. Lovers. They had a connection that seemed unbreakable, until life's complications pulled them apart. She had dreams of traveling, exploring the world, while Ethan wanted stability, a home, a family. They were two souls who wanted everything, but their paths had diverged. She left for Europe one morning, and they hadn't spoken since. Now, after all this time, there she was, sitting at a cafe window just across the street, her face illuminated by the soft glow of the lights inside. Ethan froze. His heart raced. He could barely believe it was her. Lily, with her unmistakable dark curls and the familiar way she held her coffee cup, as if savoring every moment. She hadn't changed at all. Something inside him urged him forward. Before he could even think it through, his feet were carrying him toward the cafe. The bell above the door jingled as he entered, and the warmth of the place enveloped him. He stood there for a moment, just watching her, unsure of what to say or do. Lily looked up, and their eyes met. For a moment, the world around them seemed to stop. There was no cafe, no rain, no 5-year gap, just them. She blinked, and a slow, surprised smile spread across her face. "Ethan," she asked, her voice a mixture of disbelief and excitement. "Lily," he replied, his voice soft. "It's been a while." They sat down, and the conversation flowed easily, as if no time had passed at all. They talked about their lives, their travels, and what they had been doing since they last saw each other. Lily had indeed traveled the world, fulfilling her dreams, while Ethan had built a comfortable life for himself back home. Yet, there was an unspoken tension between them, an unaddressed question hanging in the air. Eventually, Lily asked the question Ethan had been dreading. "Why didn't you ever reach out?" Ethan sighed, looking down at his hands. "I didn't know how. I thought we were too different. You wanted the world, and I wanted something simpler." Lily nodded, understanding. "I did want the world. But I never stopped thinking about you. About what we had." The silence between them was heavy, filled with the weight of the years that had passed. Ethan felt the familiar pull toward her, the same one he had always felt. The connection was still there, undeniable, as if the universe had drawn them back together. Finally, Ethan spoke, his voice barely above a whisper. "Do you think we could try again after all this time?" Lily's eyes softened, and she reached across the table, placing her hand over his. "Maybe," she said, smiling softly, "but this time, we take it one step at a time." The rain outside continued to fall, but inside the cafe, everything felt warm and full of possibility. Perhaps this time, their paths weren't diverging. Maybe they were coming together once more, wiser, more open to what could be. As they sat there, reconnecting over coffee, Ethan realized that sometimes, even after years of distance, the heart knows where it belongs. And for the first time in a long time, Ethan felt hopeful. Life had brought them back together, and maybe this was their second chance at the love they both deserved.